Let's get back to the facts. Facts, the bedrock of experience. Fun facts, true facts, real facts, fake facts. The bedrock of experience has become a problem today. Or rather, in our age, it has been exposed as a problem. The idea that our experience is based on facts seems unproblematic to many of us, as we are raised to take it for granted. But, of course, in our times where facts are continuously disputed, properly because always mediated, over-mediated, we don't know what facts to believe in. Should we believe in facts? In fact, what are facts? What do we mean by facts? The term, of course, comes from the Latin, and factum simply means in Latin what is done. But now, have facts always been considered the bedrock of experience? First things, as Aristotle would say. Are they first things? Are they the first thing that we experience? Facts. All right, but what are these facts? In order to best understand this question, we are looking at the distinction between two worlds, the modern world and the ancient world. Now, the ancient world here is represented by Plato, so on this side. And the modern world is represented by its great founding father, Machiavelli, Niccolò Machiavelli. In the case of Plato, and let's begin from him with our magic wand, this will direct us, this will help us. In the case of Plato, what we have is the notion that our experience has a foundation. First things, what are they? They are, well, ideas. This is in Plato's account of experience. But now, how in the world does Plato come up with this idea that ideas are the bedrock of experience? He must have understood experience in a certain way, possibly not in a modern way. So, in what way? What is it that we first experience in life? Well, consider the baby. What does the baby experience? First of all, does he experience what we call facts, measurable, quantifiable data? Probably not. What is the experience of the baby all about? It's about reliance on an authority, which places a limit on his experience. Now, what is first is the limit of experience. What is it that limits fundamentally our experience in life? And, of course, for the baby, it is a kind of authority, the authority that is incarnated in the parent, of course. Now, this authority, as the child grows up, comes to light for the child paradigmatically, primarily in terms of paternal authority, which is to say also law. And, of course, the question of the gods is on the table. The first god for the child is the parent, paradigmatically. The father, as paternal authority, poses a boundary on the child's passions, the feelings, the experience of life. This is not adequate, however. As the child grows up, he realizes that his father, or paternal authority, is not enough to account for his experience, for his life. He seeks a further grounding. But as Plato shows, the further grounding is not to be found aside from the first grounding. In other words, the first grounding becomes a mirror, if properly understood, if properly approached, interpreted, a mirror of a fundamental grounding. What is the beginning of our experience? A problem. Problems are what life is all about. If the beginning of our experience is a problem, it remains a problem for Plato and the classical world in general. We shift from, however, the face of problems to problems themselves. But for that shift to take place, we need courage. Hence the preeminent role and importance that courage is allotted in the classical world. Why is courage important? Because it allows us to enter to the heart of problems. That's risky, that's dangerous. That requires courage. So there we have the classical, Platonic, if you like, position. What about Machiavelli? Machiavelli said, no, that's no good. Here we are leaving problems unsolved. We have to understand experience in a new way. We have to reground experience. We have to understand it in terms of facts, bare, quantifiable facts. All right? Quantifiable problems, technical problems. Technical problems are problems that have solutions, problems that we can solve. These are facts. We can quantify them. They're the basis for our life. If we have a discussion, an argument, we go back to the facts. What are these facts? In terms of facts, facts are, for Machiavelli, no longer something that people do, which involves the gods, laws, in terms of gods, paternal authority. No, facts are neutral. They are quantifiable entities that function essentially in a mechanistic universe, in a mechanical world. Why is it important for Machiavelli to begin from facts? If what is the foundation of experience is quantifiable, then we can solve our problems, the problems of life. If the foundation of our experience is the gods, then we can't solve the problems of life. We can solve the problems of life if and only if life is grounded, our experience of life, our experience in general, is grounded in facts that we can agree upon. But how can we agree upon facts? If we have biases, we must get rid of the biases. We must become value-free problem-solving entities, or rather machines. This is the beginning of modern science. Modern science tells us that we must put aside all of our humanity, essentially. We must set aside the problem of fathers, problem of paternal authority, the problem of the gods. That is to be set aside. Why? Why? Why am I to forget my father for the sake of pursuing, well, science or whatever science is pursuing? And the answer is that we have to solve problems that our fathers have not solved for us. In the classical world, problems are never solved once and for all in this world, in empirical terms. Problems are solved, Christians will say, in God. God is the fundamental solution of all of our problems. But Machiavelli is not satisfied with that, because although we can say that in God all problems are solved, well, that doesn't help us tackle, address our problems here and now, says Machiavelli. He wants to solve the problems here and now as much as possible, to the extent that his new science makes this possible. So the foundation is clear and distinct, all right? And so we have new problems that are solvable. It is not to say that the ancients did not have technical problems. Of course, they had to fix a roof, they had to fight a battle and needed good weapons, efficient weapons. This is simply to say that the technical problems were understood in the light of non-technical problems. And so there was no great emphasis on the technical problems. In the modern world, we have a tremendous emphasis on technical problems to the extent that these become, well, in our common experience, the sole problems that are of really any decisive importance. Hence the development of modern technology. Modern technology is not merely classical technique, techne in Greek, art, the art of doing things, of making things, of solving technical problems. No. Modern technology involves the idea that the fundamental problems are technical in nature. All right? The foundation of experience being a quantifiable fact that is value-free. In other words, the question of the gods and laws in terms of paternal authority does not come into play. This conception, at any rate, of facts serves as the foundation for our new world. What do we have here? Well, a revolution. What does this revolution entail? What does it involve? It involves the conversion, or rather the transformation. Oh, so much talk today about trans everything. Of what? Of man. Man is no longer tied to paternal authority. This is a certain take on the Gospels. The Gospels tell us that man is not fundamentally tied to this, but is tied to the otherworldly. In Platonic terms, the transcendent ideas. But here, we are cut off from the problem of paternal authority to reconsider it, to reconceive it, to reconstruct it in terms of facts. All right? So, paternal authority is okay only in terms of facts. If we can reframe paternal authority, in fact the gods, in terms of facts. Now, this involves the transformation of man into a scientific, in modern terms, a scientific being. Or rather, a technical problem in his own right. Man becomes a problem-solving machine. This problem-solving machine, of course, has problems. Well, for one thing, it's hard to get rid of these gods, the biases. So we have to transform man into a great, perfect machine. How do we do that? Well, through the development of new technologies that will bring about, consolidate this revolution. All right, so we have technology. This technology, incidentally, involves a transformation that is alchemic. In early modern times, in pre-modern times, we have the notion of alchemy. Whence we have, of course, the term chemistry. Alchemy is a term that is not Latin, that is not Greek, as the prefix al suggests. It is an Arabic term, and it involves a kind of magic transformation. And yes, technology as a Faustian discipline, you could say, is a kind of magic. And what does it really involve? It involves, of course, and finally, the new foundation, the refounding of experience, for the sake of establishing a new world in which these old gods, paternal authority, is gone completely. And what is it being replaced by? Technology. What is man now? He is a servant to technology. And that's all schools are about today, incidentally, in technocracy. And that's why they teach in school, they teach students, our children, that we have to get back to the facts. They teach you facts. And this is how we approach reality, our experience of life. And that's why children are so confused today. They are flattered initially into reading about fun facts. And from fun facts, they're swallowed up into this vortex of, well, contested facts, where the final judge is the great machine. Machiavelli or Plato? Machiavelli? No, thank you. Plato. Yeah. Maybe better.